Why is it that men are constantly putting themselves under pressure? And how is that pressure affecting the way that we live our lives? In this video, I'm going to talk about one mindset shift that's going to help release or ease that self-pressure that you put on yourself in everyday life and the pressure you put on yourself when you're trying to improve yourselves. But before we get into that, let's understand the culture of men and why we are constantly putting pressure on ourselves all of the time. So one of the biggest challenges men are facing today is old school masculinity. And what that means is a lot of men are trying, number one, not to look vulnerable, trying not to look weak, trying not to look like they're not very good at something because of this status, because of this ego, because they feel like they have to be the best all of the time and have everything figured out all of the time. When in the reality is, in today's world, that just doesn't happen. And it just doesn't happen because there is so much pressure on the modern day man to be the provider, the protector, and the pillar. And you have to accept that you can't be good at everything all of the time. Whenever we work with men, there is an ongoing process to improve ourselves. It's about moving the needle forwards at 1% every single day, not solving the bigger problem overnight. Should we demand more from ourselves as men? 100%. But we should do it without an ego and by managing our expectations. And the only way that you manage your expectations is to lose your ego. So since 2013, for as many years as I can remember, I have constantly put pressure on myself about my career, about the way that I father, and about the way I am as a partner. So there were three reasons why I put myself under so much pressure. Number one was unrealistic expectations. Number two was comparing myself to people that were much further down the line than I was. I thought I should be where those guys are. I almost felt entitled with the amount of work that I was doing that I should have that success. And I did not understand or realize the process and the journey, the consistency and the resilience that was required to keep working on myself, to actually understand how much I had achieved. And putting myself under so much pressure took all of the enjoyment away from the process. Over the years, I came to realize that whatever I did just was never going to be enough to satisfy my needs. I never thought I was going to get to the place where I felt, man, I feel content with what I'm doing. I feel proud of what I've achieved. It was always about what I didn't have and what I lacked. And that's how I judged myself and put so much pressure on myself. For a lot of men, they do the same. Whenever they're trying to work on themselves, it's always about what they haven't achieved. It's always about where they're not. And they're not focusing on the things that they have achieved and the gains that they have made. And they're so damning on themselves that they almost self-destroy their own confidence and their own ability to reach their potential because they constantly keep putting pressure on themselves. Here's the thing, when we put ourselves under pressure, there's a couple of things that happen. Number one, we become stressed. Number two, we become unfulfilled. Number three, we do not enjoy the journey. Number four, we become a nightmare to be around for other people. And the consequences of consistently putting yourself under pressure is that it does the opposite of what we want. Where we want to grow, we want to feel like we're on top of a game, we're reaching our potential, but we've kind of got this black cloud over our head that says no matter what you do, no matter how much work you put in, you are never going to reach the standard that you're happy with. So here's the one mindset shift that we have to kind of get into to change that. So this one mindset shift has been responsible for helping me enjoy the journey so much more and relieving the pressure. And there's a couple of quotes here, there's a couple of statements that really summarize this. Number one is that we overestimate what we can achieve in 1 year, but underestimate what we can achieve in 5. And the second one is focus more on what you have than what you lack. You have to understand that there is no end state here until you die, which means that you are going to constantly keep growing, keep building. You're going to constantly keep evolving until the day that you die. So there's nothing that you can do is ever really going to satisfy the need in that you're done. It's really about understanding the bigger picture. Understanding that everything you do is one micro part of a macro journey. You achieving your mission is the ultimate goal, but everything you do on a day-by-day basis is moving you 1% closer to it every single day. And when the mission is achieved, you then simply move on to the next mission. And the missions keep coming until the day that you die. Try to understand that everything that you do is not all or nothing. That everything that you do is just one micro part of the process of the journey to you achieving a better life, to you being your best self. And that whether you win or lose on a daily, weekly or monthly basis does not define you. What defines you is the fact that you keep showing up and you keep doing what you're doing until the day that you die. And when you look around you, the legacy that you left, that's the win. That mentality has helped relieve the pressure I put on myself to go away and enjoy the process so much more. So a great follow-up to this video is this coaching video that I did here, 6 principles to showing up as a modern man. It's going to take you through each one of them, and each one of them is going to really clarify a lot of the things that I've been talking about here. And if you follow those principles, it's going to help you lead you into becoming the man that you want to be and that best self version of you. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what your thoughts are.